when I checked my dashboard and I was posted to Anambra State. This is it, my mom's brother. They chop him in this Anambra State.
Steve Roll in the banger.
My fears, that of my mom, that of my family members, it was so just heavy. And then I made up my mind. In short, I had to sign an undertaking. I said, "I'm coming to the camp. You must return home immediately." There was nothing I didn't. I went with so many documents, fake ones, health document that I had serious arthritis. I needed to go back home. A lot of documents. And as God will have it, I got into Anambra State, and then this then state coordinator, Mr. Kendi, that man is something. He was instrumental to my loving Anambra State. Funny enough, he's not Igbo, he's Yoruba. On telling him my stories, he said, "You are not ill, and don't lie because you want to leave." And I told him, "Daddy, I'm not ill. Yes, I'm not, but I must go. I just had to leave." And then he said, "Why?" I told him, "This is it, my mom's brother. They chop him in this Anambra State. I am the breadwinner of my family." And then at some point I told my mom the state coordinator was delayed. She said, "Send his number." I sent. She called him, pleaded, "Please him on." He told her, "Don't worry, we'll relocate him." At the end of the camp, I was posted to Azobia FM, Onitsha. Okay. I went and I met him. I said, "Daddy is Onitsha." He said, "Don't worry, we'll relocate you." I checked my dashboard the following day. I was posted to Awka. From relocation to my home, posted to Awka. And eventually I started liking the people. I started accepting my faith. The first experience I had that was striking, I was posted to Kennedy K Memorial Secondary School. And I got to the place, reported, spoke with the principal, and the first question she asked me is, "Where are you staying?" I told her, "I'm currently staying with NACC, the Catholic." Eventually she knows. I said, "That far, and you would have to be coming." Quickly look for a house around the school. I didn't even know how, but I knew she started talking with the teachers. This boy, we must get accommodation. And eventually I got a place, and the school gave me rent for 6 months. I had to get rent for. That was the first striking shock I had. The accommodation I got, the landlady connected Jen to the coppers. We're about 3 coppers living there. Like, we're not buying fuel. So these experiences they were really mind-blowing. And especially when you're dressed in your copper uniform, you walk towards a copper, you can buy it and they leave change for you, enter keke. These things were really shocking. So eventually I realized that these things said about the Igbos were actually not true. And the last experience I had that made me say I was going to stay back was how I got my job in Fides Media. I was almost done serving, though I was staying at my place, still coming to the chapel here, retreat center, with my fellow coppers at the NACC. We came to mass one day, and then Father Maximus announced that Fides were looking for reporters. In case you were interested, you could apply. After mass, I called my mom and I told her. She said, "Nothing will happen. Those people, they love themselves. They would rather employ an evil man that know nothing." That I believe my mom, because I've also heard such stories about the Igbos. Anyways, against all odds, I tried. I applied November 20. Not called till the year ran up. I went home for the normal Christmas break, and I got a call from my friend Precious KJ. That Fides said the interview is on Monday. I was like, interview Monday, quoi. Nothing will happen. Eventually I came for the interview, and that was my first interview actually after graduation. So I didn't know how a formal interview setting, but I knew myself that I was not looking like someone that came for an interview, because I knew I was wearing one slippers, I wore my native, the normal Hausa boy. I just came, and Father Martin heard me, Lauren read through my CV, and immediately, like on the spot, say you were offered the job. I was like, did this man know what he's saying? This was not what they told me about you people. How can you offer someone a job immediately? And I stayed about 5-6 months. I was promoted. 3 months later, I became production manager. What else would you want me to say about the Igbos if really they are not nice people? Now, my director is from Agulu, Anambra State. But in Fides, you could see that almost every tribe in Nigeria is represented. We have people from Akwa Ibom, people from Plateau, Benue, almost every state. We have a staff. In short, funny enough, I could say we have less Anambra Igbo people working in Fides. And then my last count showed that we have less Catholics, even as our staff members. These are things that you could want to wonder, but this is not what they told us about the Igbo people. And I've been here 3 years plus. Nobody don't eat me.
I like masa a whole lot with the stew. And
Father, you know masa? Okay, so you have to tell Father what's masa.
Masa, I don't really know how it's being done though, because I barely go outside, but I just eat and it's nice. They fry it.
Is it rice or is it made from rice?
I think it's made from rice, right? Yes. Yes, it's made from rice. There's this special kind of, not the normal rice we eat though. There's a special kind of rice for it. I think the rice for masa is not the rice for tuwo. They can use rice, tuwo, shinkafa, and curry. So then that's masa. When you grind it, you put all the ingredients like moi moi, but it's much more lighter. And there's this special pan for frying. It has holes that give the masa this spherical shape, and it makes it look very enticing. Then you put little bits of groundnut oil in each. Then you scoop from the pan and you put it there. Before, you just have to turn it every, let me say, 3 minutes interval, and it's ready. And there's this special stew. That stew is heavenly. There's this special stew for it with biscuit bone, or they might want to use that biscuit bone, please. Karikashi. Exactly. Then you put, some people like when you buy it, mostly they tie it in leather. Then you pour the stew on it with the karikashi, which is the brisket bone. But I like to do the mixing myself. So when I buy it, I want the stew separate. So if you don't really trust the stew to avoid purging, you can use yaji. Yaji is pepper, but it has other ingredients in the pepper that make it not so hot, but it's actually very tasty. Then when you use yaji, you buy a very cold one. Then you step it down. Then, if you don't want to eat masa, my next favorite meal is awara. So when you finish making soya beans, that chaff is what you use in doing awara. Then you sprinkle yaji on the awara and buy one cold Sprite.
I think the next time we'll have this session, Father, we'll have to provide a cooking gas so that these things are made experiential. Exactly. I mean, we cannot just be saying Zita was almost elevating. All right, that's by the way.
When we came newly at the bishop's house, we ate yam and the rice for the first time. I was, these are two carbohydrates, You see how they were enjoying it, They had this groundnut stew. I was looking at it. But I made up my mind, before we went there, that even while we were seeing the seminary, that I can never reject what people offer me, except the one I will still say the one that I rejected. So, but looking at it, but that night I ate it. I ate the food and I enjoyed it. Coming newly, it was strange to me. They do a lot of frying. They add a lot of oil in their food. There's one they call eru, that is okazi. There's a way they prepare it. Looking at it, it is filled with oil around. After cooking, the oil will just sediment around the plate. The okazi will be at the center. Looking at it the first time, you cannot eat it. But after, one day I said, let me try it. And it was so, so nice.